Hey folks, I am Kevin Iole from Yahoo Sports. I appreciate you joining me, and my guest right now is fighting for the WBC Interim Heavyweight Championship against Alex Povetkin. Man, I'm thinking hockey too much here. Alex Povetkin on August 15th is going to be live here on DAZN in the U.S. You can catch that.
Yeah.
Dillian, how are you, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just having a quick coffee before I head off to the gym. I'm good.
We had a little brief, I'll just get your thought on this. Breaking news today was that Mike Tyson is returning, and he's going to fight Roy Jones on September 12th in a pay-per-view. And before I started recording this, you were commenting on, of course you would fight on Mike as a legend of the sport, but probably not the smartest idea for Mike to be fighting guys like you, don't you think?
No, obviously Mike's dangerous. I'll definitely fight him because it's a legend, and it's once in a lifetime you get to fight a legend. That's an Oscar De La Hoya coming back to try and fight Canelo. These guys, these are fights you take because they'll never happen again. I think he should come back, have an exhibition if he wants. With Roy Jones is a good exhibition because they're both at similar stage. Roy Jones probably got slightly better reflex at the age, but Mike's got power and probably a bit stronger than Roy Jones. But he should stay away from the top 10 guys, because we're big, strong, young guys, and at his age, if one of us clips him, boxing is a dangerous sport. But you never know, it will still knock a lot of top guys out as well, I guess.
I want to ask you this. So you're fighting for the Interim Heavyweight Championship. And, this is one thing I think about boxing that confuses a lot of fans. They saw Tyson Fury stop Deontay Wilder to win the WBC belt. Now you're fighting for the WBC Interim belt. So I guess there's two questions to that. You beat Povetkin. Do you feel in your heart of hearts that you would be the champion? And then secondly, B, do you understand why, the public sometimes get confused by those kind of things?
It is. I can understand why. It's someone that don't know about boxing. I can understand why. But, obviously, there's a lot of stuff been going on. I've been waiting 1,000 days to fight for the title, which is a bit crazy. Tyson Fury decided to fight Deontay Wilder as a voluntary. Then he got rematch clause. Then they had a draw with Wilder. And then he beat Wilder. So now there's a third fight. It just messes things up because Adi had fought him as a mandatory. I think he did fight him as a mandatory in the end because they sold my mandatory position and gave it to him. But because of the situation, the fight was made as it was a voluntary. Because the mandatory challenger, there's no rematch. If you beat the champion, you could run off and do what you want. But because the fight was made as a mandatory first, then it made it a voluntary, then it became mandatory. So it just messes everything up. So in the meantime, they have an obligation to me to obviously keep me happy as well. So I'm interim champion, which means champion. So if Wilder and Fury both injured and they can't fight, then I'll be full champion, which I should be, and then I'll fight the next available contender for the belt, basically. So, in a way, it's a trinket. It's something to fight, but it's something for fighters to obviously do, and something to enhance your value as well, and for you to be a champion as well. And it's a great incentive for young fighters as well to have a title. It's a great thing, to have a title as well. So, it's a funny one. I get what you're saying, but it's the WBC and other belt organization is giving other fighters opportunities because otherwise the belts become locked down. Like when Klitschko and his brother had the belt, and you have to just do what they say, when they say, however they say it. You have to go to Germany, you have to go and do that. And they was the biggest guys around for however long,
I guess the thing that I want to ask you about is your only loss in your career was to AJ Anthony Joshua. You've since won, yes, I believe, 11 consecutive fights since then.
Yes.
What is the difference in your career? Like the fact that you've been beating some good guys, a real good fight with Oscar Rivas last year that you won that. What has been the difference in you pre-fighting AJ and after, where you seem like you're at a higher level now?
The lifestyle and the training, obviously, when I had 7 amateur fights. I never had no long amateur career. I didn't win anything really as an amateur. So I didn't have that luxury, sign with a promoter, I had a signing bonus, and people was looking up to me and promoting me. I was just a from the street that could punch, and I could fight. So I was just living at home. I was training locally. I was just lifting a bunch of weights and doing things locally. And I had good punch power. So I thought all I had to do was to hit these guys and they'll fall over. So I wasn't training like a pro. I was fighting. I wasn't training like a pro, you know, and it worked for me for 15, 16 fights before I made Anthony Joshua. I was knocking everyone out. I was coming up. I was living life. I was eating what I want, doing what I want, you know, and training for 6 weeks and getting in there and beating these guys, you know, and that's a dangerous thing for young fighters. You're knocking everyone out. You're just thinking, well, you know, yeah, I've been doing this. It works. And then I went up against Anthony Joshua, who was Olympic gold medalist, European amateur world champion, world amateur champion, who's been in the Olympic setup for many years and been training properly. Then what I realized in the fight was I had injuries, and he was injury free because I never saw a physio until about 5, 6 years ago. I didn't even see a physio. I had shoulder problems that I was fighting through with a dislocated shoulder. I'd go and get a cortisone injection in there and go and fight. I've been paying for 2, 3 months after it was stopped, then I'll fight again and stuff like that. I didn't know, you know, little things to do to straighten your shoulders and little exercise and stuff. I didn't know about all those things. I was just a guy at home eating my mom's food, Caribbean food, training. Yeah, I didn't really think about dieting and stuff like that. I thought, this is the food I grew up eating. It's good stuff, whatever. I never knew that you had to cut certain things. You know, I was just living. So the difference between then and now is I'm more experienced and I got a better lifestyle and I became somebody after the Anthony Joshua fight. And it showed me that with what I'm doing, I was close to beat one of the best fighters in the world.
Right.
So if I take it serious and do things properly and live properly and build a team around me, then I can be world champion, and that's the difference. That's the difference.
I should say the earlier Dillian Whyte sounds a lot like me. Eating mom's sweets and not training sounds a lot like me.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's very hard because I'm very close to my mom and stuff. You know, my mom thing is, you know, you
Moms
look
are the
skinny, eat
best.
more. Yeah, you look skinny, eat more food. I'm like, Mom, I'm 115 kilos. Oh, eat more food. Oh, this. You live at home. It's comfortable. And you're going and you're knocking people out, and you're thinking, oh, well, I'm doing all right. I don't need to change anything. I don't need to move away from home and go and train there for 12 weeks or 15. You know, you're just thinking, oh, I can train. I can still take my kids to school. I can still do this. I can still go pick up the kids. I can still do the shopping. I can still. But in reality, you can't really, if you want to do it properly and be dedicated to the craft, you can't, because if you're training 2, 3 times a day, you got to rest. You ain't got no time to hang out with your mates. You ain't got no time to do this, you know. You have to just be dedicated to the craft 24 hours a day.
Let's talk about your fight with Povetkin. Povetkin, an Olympic gold medalist, former world.
Yes.
You know, I mean, obviously a talented guy with a terrific jab. You know, he's kind of getting up there in years right now, maybe showing some wear and tear in some of his fights. What do you think the key is for you, Dillian, to win this fight and to defeat Povetkin?
The key is to not underestimate him and to take him seriously like I have been doing, because he's another guy that's won everything. As an amateur, he's won everything all the way to the Olympic gold medal. As a professional, he's won everything up to the WBA World Heavyweight Championship of the world. So for me, it's not to underestimate him, to take him serious, and to realize that it's a serious threat, you know, and to realize that nowadays heavyweights is going on till mid 40s, late 40s. It's not a problem. George Foreman came years ago and was even more dominant than he was in the late age than he was at the early age. So, you know, Povetkin's old school Russian. He's an old school Russian tough man, you know. So, you know he's going to be strong. You know he's going to be brave. He's going to be gallant. And I think he's also one of the best boxers I fought technically from a schooling point. You know, I mean, technically he's sound and he's still very strong and he's still very, very patient. And there's things that he's been doing consistently for the last 10 years. You know, he's consistently been doing those things. And he haven't shown much sign of slowing down, or it's like he's lost them. You know, he's still technically sound and technically
You have a big speed and quickness advantage in the fight, though, don't you think?
You know, I would like to think so. But, you know, he's the kind of guy where, because he's so precise in what he does, he doesn't start fast. He doesn't rush. He's very, very consistent, very technical, and he's got very good eyes. You know what I mean? So you can see with Joshua, everyone thought Joshua was going to smoke him. He almost knocked Joshua in early doors because Joshua was rushing and was bending down to his height as a taller man and ended up getting clipped doing it. So, you know, sometimes there's a timing beat speed. So, you know, it's like having a fast car and not knowing how to drive. You know, it doesn't, someone that knows the driver beating a much slower car. So I'm gonna have to be consistent in many areas, in speed, in technique, in toughness, in grit. I might have to out-muscle him, out-box him at point. And, you know, and I've shown in previous fight I can do all it against top-level fighters. You know.
Let's jump in. I'll wrap it up and let you go. And I really appreciate your time. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no worries, man. Thank you for reaching out.
Looking forward, assuming you beat Povetkin, obviously the division is kind of, you know, because you got Fury Wilder scheduled, you got Joshua Pulev scheduled, then supposedly you're going to have Fury versus Joshua. We'll see if that happens. Where does that leave you when you have a title belt and you're sitting there? What does that do for you if all those things actually come true?
Well, at the minute, you know, we're sort of in a little bit with WBC, we're coming to some sort of terms or whatever, you know. And obviously, I'm the mandatory, and I think they will honor the mandatory this time, you know, because it's been moved before, and I haven't done anything wrong, and I've done everything right, and everything they asked of me. So I think this time they will honor the mandatory, and Tyson Fury, Wilder will have to fight me, you know. And I think
So in between Wilder and Joshua, he would have to fight you.
yeah, I think they would have to fight me before they fight Joshua. You know, I think so. One of them will have to fight me. He may vacate the belt and fight Joshua. You know,
Right.
never know. Never know. You know,
Would you be good with that if, you know, if he vacates the belt? I mean, I would think you would want to.
No, I want
to
fight
Anthony or Deontay, right? Don't you want to fight one of them?
I want to fight Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua. While there's a bit on the back burner at the minute, I want to fight Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua because they're the top guys and they're the guys with the belt. After this fight, God willing, everything goes good, and I Povetkin in the way I feel and believe that I will, then I want to fight the two top guys in front of me because then I should be number 3 in the world. You know, I should be number 3 in the world. I want to fight the two guys in front of me. Deontay Wilder didn't fight me for 100 million years, so why should I now go and fight him?
Right.
You know?
I hear you. Well, we wish you good luck. I appreciate you, Dillian. All the best to you. Going to be fighting Alexander Povetkin on DAZN. You can catch that fight for the WBC Interim Heavyweight Championship. Dillian, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good to talk to you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Bye-bye.